Okay, greetings everybody. We're here in wonderful Wakanda, Illinois to talk about the 3P hitch, to hopefully answer some questions about hooking up and unhooking and how you adjust the hitch during that process, and what some of its capabilities are and versus any drawbacks that it may or may not have. First of all, some of the questions have been what's required accessories with the 3P hitch, and pardon me if the video gets shaky, I'm filming this myself. Some of the required accessories, first of all, you've got a dog bone adapter that has a 3/4 inch socket and a 7/8 inch socket end. This is included with a 3P purchase as an accessory kit. Also a pry bar with a 15/16 inch socket. This is included with a 3P accessory kit. I also highly recommend having a cordless drill with you. I have an 18-volt DeWalt that I have a speed adapter to use on my stabilizer jacks and also the weight distribution jacks of the 3P. Let's go through some of the components of the 3P hitch. Also, actually, one other accessory that you can see I've already put on. Whoops, don't want to turn that. Is a hitch mirror. This is just a simple magnetic hitch mirror that I take on and off the hitch when I'm hooking up. You can see that's my view in the rear view mirror when I'm backing up to the hitch. Again, really useful. Backup camera will work, but a hitch mirror is really a key component. We've heard some talk about tongue twisters. I personally don't use one, but it's not to say that they aren't valuable, but we'll talk through it a little bit. So the components of the hitch, obviously you've got the main hitch head, okay, which hooks up to attaches to the ball, the yoke of the hitch, and this is what stabilizes the ball onto this mechanism to keep it from pivoting. You've got the yoke of the hitch, and this is what are the yoke mount bracket, which holds the back of this yoke. Then obviously the weight distribution bars, and then the weight distribution jacks, which raise and lower the bars. You can see everything stays connected at all times. Then if we move around to the front, you can see the actual receptacle that receives the stinger from the back of the tow vehicle. These are your two links that pivot the hitch. The over center latches, which latch onto the stinger, and we'll go through that in the hooking up process. And then of course in the requisite safety chains, brake equipment, etc. As far as how the hitch pivots, this was actually a concern of mine in that I didn't understand how this hitch worked. When the tow vehicle turns, this hitch no longer pivots on the ball. This hitch actually, when the tow vehicle exerts turning force, you can see how this hitch pivots to go through a turn. Okay, it actually turns back on itself and will actually reach steeper angle than this. Okay, but you can see how this hitch works from a pivot standpoint. There you can see the severity of the turning angle. Okay, so you can imagine right now if the bumper would be about parallel to this face, to this stinger, you can see the severity of the angle that your tow vehicle would be at in regards to the rest of the camper. So let's set this back to straight, and we'll go through any other drawbacks or concerns. Being that the weight distribution jacks always stay on the hitch, always stay on the trailer, the only problem I encountered was that when I backed into a spot, if I ended up at a severe angle, okay, so let's set the hitch at a severe angle, you can see the distance from the weight distribution jack to the tongue jack collapses as that angle gets steeper. The problem I ran into is with my jack pad. Okay, this was fixed with a pin to the tongue jack, and when I would go to lower the tongue jack, if this pad was above this bar, it wouldn't allow the tongue jack to go all the way down. So what I did is I took this pin out and I simply raise and lower the tongue jack, and I hold this in place once the tongue jack gets below the weight distribution bars, if it's in a clearance type situation. So it was just one slight little modification I did to my process, but it has never proved to be an inconvenience, this bar interfering with the tongue jack itself going up and down, only if this jack pad was a permanent fixture on it. So let's set the hitch back up to straight. Okay, and let's kind of go through the stinger on the back of my F-250. This is the stinger as it exists on the back of the tow vehicle. These are the over center latches, all right, that we'll get into in a hooking up process. The over center latch will actually pivot around and snap into this indentation, and you put in this safety pin and lock it down, and that's what holds it secured. So that kind of covers the basic components of the hitch. All right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop this video for interest of time, and the next one I will start with some of the adjustments of the hitch.